Good afternoon and welcome to Drag Race Central. I'm your host, Randall Shue.
I'm your host, Lance Shue.
Hey, we got Facebook Live up. You want to go tell them how to get on Facebook Live?
101.1 Drag Race Central.
You see mine and Landon's Faces for Radio on there.
Hey, we will have a replay on our YouTube channel.
You know what? You speaking of that, we got you. Did you get the show we did from the World of Wheels?
I did.
Okay.
Sometime 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so that's been going on. Sometimes we don't keep up. I don't keep up with it as much as I and announce it to our listeners. But you can go on. Tell them how to get to our YouTube channel.
Drag Race Central is our YouTube channel.
Okay,
you can find all of 2024s on there.
Okay. Oh, really? You got a bunch of them. Okay.
Well, we've only had I believe this will be our 9th show this year.
Oh, okay.
There's only so many Saturdays.
Well, I know it, but that's all right. But anyway, we've got just want to make sure that up. And the second part of the YouTube deal, we've been filming for the first video coming up. Mm-hmm. Now, the filming and the talking and the our voiceovers, and it's actually pretty simple. The editing process to make it look like we intended to. I'm
gonna spend a lot of time.
Yeah, and as we go along, it'll get easier and easier.
Editing our current stuff, like right now, I've got it down to a skill. I'm talking.
Okay.
I can finish one in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
One of our 1 hour shows, I can finish about 10 minutes, and then it takes about 2 to 3 hours to get onto YouTube.
Okay.
Just because it takes so long to load, but I've got it down pretty good.
Well, that is awesome. This week what we've added, because we've got the Mustang project. Mm-hmm. What is funny, we told it didn't have any compression. Sure enough, didn't have any spark plugs, and that will really, really affect how much compression it has. There's no spark plugs.
That will do it.
So we went up to the store and got some sparklers for it and put them in there, and has some compression.
That it does. It'll run.
It fired up. So you parked that in a position of prominence in the middle of my driveway.
You told me to. I wouldn't.
And you still did it, like you told, I guess.
I did as I was told.
Okay. Well, anyway, it was right there in the middle of everything. So sometime during the week, I had some other issues. I said, I need to move that thing. So the battery we were using left with you. It is actually for another project, the RX-7 project.
RX-7 project.
Now we're going to be filming it also.
I've got video if it's crank up again.
Okay, but this most of you have never seen anything like this contraption. Anyway, it's kind of neat. So this week, what I've added in video, because I've been in maintenance mode. Mm-hmm. Landon, I'm glad you're sitting down. I got to tell you this.
Okay.
My 1/4-inch sockets
mm-hmm.
were on one strip. Had all the sockets.
Mm-hmm.
There was metric and standard. But when I picked them up, I had any size I needed with me. Well, this week I swapped them up. I've got these SAE on one side and the metric on the other. How about that?
There you go.
So I just know which one to pick up. So anyway, I'm in maintenance mode, and so I started moving all that stuff around where I can actually find stuff. I've cleaned up my work table. Well, I changed the oil in the mini bike. I figured this coming Labor Day, it will be 5 years old. So I'm thinking after 5 years, it's probably time for an oil change.
I would say so.
It's on, I think, the 4th tank of gas.
Wow.
So I, don't run it much, but still the acids and the all the stuff that will build up inside of these engines, and I don't get it real hot. I'll ride it over next door. I'll ride it up and down the, when grandson comes down, me and him get on the thing. We ride around the neighborhood, but really don't ride it a whole lot. So anyway, I went ahead and changed the oil and got that thing. It is up and operating. Now in redneck world, I can get down. Hey, all you got to do is fall. But getting up is an issue.
Right.
So what I did, you remember the straps we bought at the probably one of the tool sheds or something? It's a strap that goes around a tire, and you strap to a tire.
I know where you bought that from, yeah.
So there's 2 extras in the basement. I slipped that thing under the seat and hooked the mini bike to a cherry picker. I picked it up. I stood and changed oil standing up. I had a drain pan. This is pretty awesome.
Strike a genius, huh?
It was, and your cherry picker is not just for picking up cherries. So anyway, that was just a real stroke of genius. So I was able to get that changed. So I started working back on our miniature Jeep. It's our tow vehicle for the Corvette.
Right.
It had some kind of issue with it. You give it gas and it stays on there. So I've got a pinch cable, or I've got some kind of issue. Pull the floor out of it and got to make a rubber mount for it. It vibrates too much, so we're gonna make some rubber mounts for that thing. And
we'll put your Hayabusa motor on it.
It would perk it up, wouldn't it?
But you're talking about some issues with it pulling. That'll fix it.
But this thing at about, it's 3-speed. At about 25-ish miles an hour, it turns a little bit too sharp. Grandson liked to dump me out of it. We were went through first gear, everything's good. Go to second gear, and then I clicked third. He decides turning left and right is the thing to do. Thank goodness I stopped it, because it would at least toss me out of it.
Hey, now I was scouring the internet this morning, and I ran into a different crowd of racing, and I believe this was road racing stuff.
All right, what is that?
There's a company out there who makes, it's off the Hayabusa platform. It's a V10.
I've seen the V8.
Yeah, they had a V10 Hayabusa.
They add four more cylinders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They said it's just as tall as a Hayabusa motor. The height has not changed. It's just a bit longer.
They add 4 cylinders in the front. That makes the V. And it's I read that thing. It's 400 in the 400 horsepower range. Their
V10 makes 600 and something.
Oh yeah, V10. Okay, I hadn't seen that.
And they said it's 300 pounds.
That's pretty cool. I catch YouTube pretty regular, and Mercury Marine came out with their 500R motor for the outboard, and they've got a 600, but that is a V12. The 500 is a supercharged V8. Goes on outboard.
That'll get you going around for some bass, for sure.
They were out doing sea trials. They had 5 of them on back of a 51-foot, like a bow rider type, but like just a boat, 51 foot long. 11 people on board. They were running 90 out in the ocean. This thing will hoon. The V12 one, the 600 horse, has got a Power Glide. It's 2-speed prop.
Okay.
It'll take off, and it's got some topside. I think the 600 is $77,000. The last thing I saw.
We got to get back into selling boat parts.
That's a lot of money. Well, the guy that's doing the 500, he had they had some kind of a fountain. I believe it was a fountain boat. They had 2 450s on it. Those are for sale. He's put some 500s.
Okay.
So there's some people that money don't bother a whole lot. He said, we're going to sell our 450s, and they'll offset some of the cost. They're going like West Palm Beach to Bahamas. That was some kind of poker run they was doing. I don't know. It was just a bunch of people out spending money at an alarming rate.
I'm happy for them.
I know it. We mentioned the YouTube. I saw a young man this week. He had one of the new Jeep 4-door trucks. Great big old wheels. Just all kind of stuff on this thing. We got up talking, and Stephen Overby said, tell him how you got this thing. He had bought a couple of T-shirts off of some kind of website down on the coast. And because of it, he won this truck and $50,000 cash.
That's pretty good.
He said the $50,000 paid the taxes on it. He said I had about $4,000 left out of the $50,000. But he said I got a paid for truck. And this thing was not junk. It was a super, super nice Mac Daddy of all Mac Daddy winches on front of it.
Okay.
Had remote. It had lights. It had, I think multiple speed. It was just a pretty cool thing.
They sold some T-shirts.
Plus, I don't know how much winch you need if you're riding through the mall, because this thing ain't going off road.
You can pull somebody who's on the curve, I guess.
I guess so. I would imagine this thing is in the approaching $100,000 for this vehicle. So
Okay.
anyway, that's the first time I've ever met somebody who actually won something like that. Now, years ago, there was a guy we worked with at Edward Chevrolet won a Corvette somewhere, like at the car show. So anyway, he won a Corvette.
Mm-hmm.
He was so excited until tax time come. He had to sell the Corvette to pay the taxes because the winnings like that are taxed at a different rate than like earnings. I think the tax rate was 40% on something you've won. It's bad.
Ouch.
So anyway, that's the first time I've seen somebody won one of the big things. You know, Cletus McFarland doing one down in Florida. His new giveaway for deal is a Robinson R-22 helicopter. No, it's Schweitzer. This is a Schweitzer helicopter he's giving away. Now, Landon, let me tell you the way it works.
Okay.
A lot of things you can buy. Hey, let me try that thing. You jump on it, jump in it, on it, take off. Helicopter will kill you.
Yeah, I'm aware. It's one of the only few things I haven't worked on.
It's helicopter. I've been flying. I got hundreds of hours flying. Never been in a rotor wing. It's called fixed wing and rotor wing is actually the way it's listed.
Okay.
This thing, you got to be careful. There's some air speeds and climb speeds you cannot enter. It's like a 35 miles an hour and a 500 foot per minute climb. There's some, whatever the numbers are.
Sure.
It gets in some gyroscopic issues that you can't get out of, so you have to avoid those. Anyway, there's some pretty complicated stuff with a helicopter that airplanes you don't have to deal with. Airplane, you going fast enough, that sucker will fly.
That's it.
Taking off an airplane is easy. You give it gas, wide open throttle.
And pull up.
No, just let go of the controls, keep it in the middle. It'll just start flying. Now landing is a whole different buddy, because you're running along pretty fast and puff of wind hits you. Airplane knows it.
Oh yeah.
Landing a plane in a crosswind is exactly the same skill as driving a car, a race car that is not real hooked up. You're driving some out the driver's window and some out the passenger window while going straight. That's exactly how it feels landing in a crosswind airplane.
Okay.
You talking about getting your attention?
I believe you. Hey, 100%.
Let me tell you what humbling is. You're up there riding along, and you and the instructor, and y'all been up doing touch and goes. That's when you go up and you're flying along. You come around, you land, and you take off again.
Mm-hmm.
He says, pull over here. So pull over to the side. He hops out. Give me three touch and goes, and the last one to full stop. Okay. You get on radio, tell Tyler what you're doing. You give this thing throttle. About the time you break ground, you look over to the right, you're by yourself. If you mess up, I know who's going to die. Me.
Yeah.
So the pucker factor, there's a serious pucker factor. So you pucker up pretty bad, but I didn't have any problem. After that, I felt pretty confident.
That's good. That's what it's aimed for.
So the giving helicopters, I can see that being a real problem.
Yeah.
No big deal. I was thinking this is being a racing show.
We should talk about some racing.
Should we talk? We'll talk about some racing after we take a break. How about that? We'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Welcome back into Drag Race Central. We've got people listening to us or watching us on
Facebook Live.
On Facebook Live. We appreciate everybody.
101.1 Drag Race Central on Facebook or on our YouTube channel, which we'll have this one up and loaded tonight, depending on what time it finishes, maybe tomorrow morning.
Okay.
We'll see what time of night it is.
That's I don't understand a whole lot of that. You have it, but your bandwidth, whatever, you don't have a whole lot of signal. It takes it takes about as long as the video is.
Okay. So this will be an hour show. I'll crop it down to be about 52 minutes long.
Okay.
Takes about 52 minutes to upload.
Okay. So there's a process. Mm-hmm. So anyway, maybe our videos are going.
If we ever make it big on YouTube, I'll make sure that I get good internet.
Just buy the internet.
We're going to have to make a lot of money.
Oh, okay. How long do you think our videos should be? Most 12 to 15 minutes. You want them? Hey,
you're talking about the videos that we're filming?
Our videos.
Our filming videos. Okay.
Yeah. Now, how about this? Even the preacher, 22 minutes is all your rear end and your brain will comprehend. Because hey, the preacher gets you up and gets you down. He'll preach to 22 minutes is all they'll preach to you. You know that?
Well, no, you do.
Because your brain goes to sleep after that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so 12 to 15 to 20 minutes, according to what we have, I think would be a good. And I probably got 5 or 6 minutes so far. And when we start on this project, we'll film a lot and try to do some highlights and some tips and tricks and some stuff like that.
Some advice. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we talked about the mini bike project, changing all that needed to be done,
Mm-hmm.
working on the Jeep. I took the floor pan out of it.
Needs a high boost motor.
It needs something.
It runs smooth.
That little 150 is not real.
It's not doing a very good job pulling the Corvette.
Well, as long as you're in low gear and you run that thing up pretty hard and low, and you go to second, as long as you don't turn, you're fine. If not, you had to whip back down there and.
We need to get one of those that has like the bungee in the center of it for whenever it snatches.
Oh yeah.
We need to get one of those cords.
Okay. Well, it's a retractable deal.
Now, you don't know so I'm talking about the ones where if something happens and it gets snatched, it has a little bungee in it. And that way we won't be shucking parts.
Well, the real tow one is got a coil deal,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like an inertia. So when it grabs hold, it just grabs gradually and hooks on.
Yeah, that's what we need.
We'll have to, because hey, we're not using a logging chain anyway. I can assure you, when you run out of string in a logging chain, it gets tight quick.
Well, what we've already done is already bent the pin in it.
We sure did. So anyway, you're right. We need to get us one of them things, or just be like a real man and drive that sucker back to the. No. Well, would be a lot cooler if we just drive it back.
Yeah, it would be. Especially imagine all the additional engine wear that we'd be having.
Well, it's just I don't know. I can blow if I need a horn. If I can just put a horn on it, a Uga horn. Well, it's a '53 model, so you do a Uga horn.
There you go.
That's what we need. Anyway, we've got that going on. Let's see what else we got.
Has Chris gave us any updates on our match racing?
No, we hadn't. We need to get with Chris and Otanger and put all that together and see when we
got to start writing up a script about how we're mad at each other or something.
We like wrestling.
Yeah, write up a script.
Well, Otanger kind of looks like a wrestler.
He a rather swole gentleman.
Yeah, he could be a wrestler.
I'll do this. I'll do all the talking, and you can do all the swinging. How's that sound?
How about that? Let's go out to a caller. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello, Randall.
Hey, what? Hey, my hero.
Todd Oden here. What's going on, guys?
Everything is lovely. Now, have you heard us talking about the Mustang?
Yes, I did. It's good to have a project.
It is. Mm-hmm. We got it running. Not real good.
Just a small puddle coming out the exhaust.
I didn't expect it to be very good.
Hey, you know what? It's actually a pretty dang nice car.
Really nice car. The body and the interior and everything's super nice. It's well worth fixing.
Oh yeah. So we're in the process of that. Matter of fact, we were talking on the way over here about which direction we're going to go. I think we're going to pull the motor out and we'll just freshen the whole thing up while we got it apart. How about that?
That sounds like a plan to be on.
But I was telling last week that you flung a Craven on me. I walked past that side by side, and I made a mistake. I opened the door and got in it. And I said, mm-hmm. And I think I don't need to do it. I don't need to do it. I don't need to do it. But anyway.
Well, it's still sitting there with your name on it.
Oh.
I'm afraid to come over. You'll have one of them little yellow lights like the pizza delivery guy with my name flashing. Well, what's going on at MPO Motors?
Well, it is just about that time again when everybody starts getting their tax refunds in their account, and we're sitting on about 245 units ready to go.
Oh, my goodness.
We checked this morning, and we had a good brisk day of sales today, and we've got the lot kind of freshened up and ready and just waiting on everybody to get there. We've got a good selection of everything. But more than that, we're about about 5 or 6 weeks away from our race season starting too, and getting pretty excited about that. We've got my old car Double X, getting it ready. We're supposed to pick up the engine for it next week, and then drop off some lines and valves and stuff for my son Michael's new car. He's going to be running a B gas car, and it's going to be a mechanical stack fuel injector car. So we're taking some lines up to them, and they're going to run that thing in up in sprint car country up in Indiana.
Okay. Now, when I was over there, you talked about you had somebody going to paint that for you. Is that
I
process?
do, and it is. It's in the paint shop now.
Oh, okay.
It's already in primer, and they're talking about, they need to let it sit for a couple extra days now that the primer's done. And, they feathering, because it had some stripes on the car, and we need to feather those out and get it nice and smooth. And if we get it nice and smooth, we're going to lay some color down on it probably within the next 10 days.
All right, now that's a 66, 7?
62.
62. Okay, I didn't see the front of it.
Chevy 2. Right, 62 Chevy 2.
Okay. So that's going to be got enough room
and
in the trailer?
That car is actually a little bigger car than you think about. When you say Chevy 2, you think of a small car, but that car is actually a pretty good sized car. It's about 110-inch wheelbase, and it's a fairly wide car.
Okay.
Yeah, and not super, super light. I mean, this car is going, even with him in, it's going to be somewhere in the 2,600-pound range. But,
okay.
It's you just think of a Chevy 2. People say Chevy 2, you think it's just going to be a super light little race car, but they're actually pretty stable car.
All right, now this is B gas, so is that 8 pounds per inch, 8.5 pounds?
That is correct. 8 pounds per cubic inch, and of course, in what we do, the lighter the car, the smaller the engine. You want to be as close to minimum weight as you can be, and with a small guy like my son, even though he's tall, he don't weigh but 130 pounds.
Right.
So
that'll go.
Exactly.
That'll take care of itself.
One half of me. That's what he is. So, he turned 21 today, so he's had a good birthday.
Oh,
we
my
worked
goodness.
all day at the lot. So
that is great.
But they're going to run his engine in up there. The place that does our engines is in Indiana, and they're kind of well known for their sprint car stuff, and so they're really up on the mechanical injectors.
Oh yeah.
And they use they're really high up on the Kinsler list. So, and that's what this car had when we got it. So
okay.
We actually ended up building a short block and downsizing the engine a little bit. We're down in the 340-inch range.
Okay.
So that way we can get the car down as much in weight as we can, and it's going to take him a little while to get used to driving that car, because the car he was in was about a 680 car, and this car should be about a 570 car.
Hey, going to pick up approximately a second. That's going to get his attention.
Yeah, a second to about 25 mile an hour. And plus, you guys know, you've all drag raced, and you know that when these cars get up on the top end, they stand up on the tires. When you stand up on these 10.5-inch tires, you probably got 8 good inches on the ground, and that thing's skating around, dancing around, and the wind's blowing, and you're trying to look at the guy next to you, and you're trying to shift gears 3 times, and it's just it's a handful.
Well, it seems like a pretty simple process. I'm taking off right here. I'm just running right down there, 660 feet. But boy, is there a lot of things going on in that short period of time.
It absolutely is. It's a challenge, but it is so much fun. I mean, it is, and just the fact that he's wanting to do it and we can stick together as a family, that makes it all worthwhile,
Now, you got enough room in one trailer for both cars?
I do.
Okay.
And it's the first time ever. It's took me 8 years to finally get to the point that we've got the correct toter home to pull the stacker trailer. And
oh, that's great.
Everything, is just right in place like it needs to be, and we can all go in the same vehicle. We can, sleep in the same vehicle. We can pit out of the same vehicle.
Oh yeah.
It's just it's nice to finally get there. It took us a good while. We went with 2 trailers for a long time and 2 trucks, and sometimes we'd get 1 car would go, sometimes 2, and then a couple of times 3. My dad would go, and it's just
that's a bunch.
But this is what I've been looking for the whole time, is to get us to this point.
Oh, that is great. Well, I always said the only thing I was interested in racing is I drove up and said, "Uh-oh, he's here." It never happened, but that's what I was after.
You could loan out some money to some people; they'd do it.
Oh.
I told my son, I said, our goal in racing is to when the ladder, after qualifying, when the ladder comes down and the first guy that looks and says, "Oh no, I've got him."
Yep, that's all. Hey, that's about as good as it's gonna get.
Yeah, if you can get them like that, then you know you're doing all right.
Hey, you get in their head first of all.
Right.
Then our buddy Alan Lovelady bought your old car, and then he's gonna be up there. That's gonna be fun.
Yep, I've talked to Alan a couple of times today. He was at the state championship, the wrestling finals today, and I don't know how many people keep up with high school wrestling, but it's a fantastic sport. Ken Rainwater's son, Cruz, won the state championship today.
I got music. They're about to go off on me. Todd, thanks for calling.
All right, thank y'all guys. See you soon.
All right, buddy. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Welcome back to Drag Race Central. This section brought to you by Ray's Drive Shaft.
That's right.
Yeah, Ray's located right there in Fultondale. If you get an opportunity to go by and see Ray and tell him, what is their address? You look that thing up.
1417 Decatur Highway in Fultondale, Alabama.
Go by and tell them to fix your drive shaft. Tell you heard right here on Drag Race Central, and that lets Ray know he's spending his money in the right place, and load him up. We've had.
And then y'all keep an eye out for the Jeep van that's missing.
I know it. The Jeep was under the hood out there at Off-Road Connection.
Was under the hood, yeah.
I went by the other day. The Jeep man is gone, or somebody stole him, or they're upgrading. I'm not. He might have gone in for a.
He getting cold?
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing a makeover.
Oh.
I bet they're doing a makeover.
Getting some new hair.
It's gonna be GQ.
GQ.
I don't think Gentleman's Quarterly is gonna take that guy. That's not gonna be it.
Yeah, that's not gonna do it.
Did a little more maintenance this week. It's about time to get the Corvette out.
Mm-hmm.
So, because the front end's off of it, I got a front end holder. It's up in there out of the way, and so I can move roll the front end around however I need to do. But I got to look, and the nitrous was not plugged up. There's two different kits, two foggers. So I got to figure out which one to which. I took about 150 horses out of the first one and left. You have to put it about 150 leaving and 300 added on top of that as it goes down the track.
Right.
But I want to know which one's which.
It would be a good idea. Especially, I guess you can just dry fire it and see which one goes off.
Oh, yeah, you can do that. Because, with the test light, you can just turn it on and let the test light come on. You'll know which one's which.
Right.
So, we've got a computer system. We have to put the laptop on it, and we've got a cable goes up and hooks the laptop, and we can actually read what it's doing. It's the leave RPM, the max RPM, the when the nitrous comes on. All these things are available with the data on the MSD box. Yeah. So and you reprogram it. A lot of like on the box on the 55's got plugs or dials or the little chips. Now this one, y'all go in the computer, and one of the problems with this thing is before you race, you must go back in and take another look and make sure it hadn't toggled itself back. Like when the nitrous comes on, you want to take timing out according to how much timing how much nitrous you're putting on.
Right.
If it don't, you visit the piston goddess.
Mm-hmm.
It burns the size of the pistons out of it, and that can be really expensive.
She sends you the magic smoke.
Magic smoke comes out. Then you got to go see the people who know how to fix these things. That is less than desirable. So anyway, you just go in, the computer. I bought this computer. It's a non-R.
Mm-hmm.
Hadn't got a clue what a non-R computer is, but I got one.
Right.
My regular laptop would not work. So I get to investigating, and that's what I had to have. So I went over to one of the big box stores, and the guy says, "Can I help you?" I said, "I need a laptop that's non-R." He said, "Okay, I got him." I said, "You know what I'm talking about?" He said, "Sure." Okay. So apparently, computer world that's pretty normal. So I've got one. as far as I can tell, it works like the rest of them. But anyways, it's something in there special.
Is there no R key on it?
I don't know. It's just non-R is all I know.
Is it QST? There's just no R there?
No, it's got R. Might have aura. I don't know.
That's it.
But anyway, so you got to go in and take a look at all your parameters, make sure nothing has acted up. When the timing comes on, it takes up to 10 degrees out of it. You run about and the better the cylinder head, or the more efficient combustion chamber, the less ignition lead or timing that you need.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the old big block Chevrolets with a closed chamber head took 42 degrees to make them do right. That is 42 degrees before top dead center fire, and it takes that long for the spark process, the flame kernel, there's your new word, flame kernel to go and become a start burning stuff and start pushing the piston down. Well,
that sounds terribly inefficient.
It is, but that's what you had. Now, the later stuff, like a Honda, I know I'm talking Honda, but a Honda Cloverleaf combustion chamber is a 5-valve, 0. It is so efficient, it fires right at top dead center.
That's pretty good.
The Corvette, 22 or 3 degrees. Your LS stuff is going to be real low. You'll back the timing out of those things. They start out at 30 degrees, start backing timing out for nitrous and all. They'll be wide open throttle at 15 to 18 degrees of timing.
Okay.
But it makes them a lot more friendly to the gasoline, and you start hammering one with some spark knock, it gets ugly. Because for years we called that valve rattling. It's not. What it is the uncontrolled combustion on top of the piston. The piston is rocking side to side. That is the noise you're hearing. Mm-hmm. So it is brutal. I mean, it's like a hammer, big hammer hitting on top of a piston. And the fact they survive any at all, I'm surprised.
This is good stuff back then. You just didn't know it.
I had a turbo in a 78 Cutlass, just old motor. Well, I got on it and I was about to get out run. I rolled in the throttle. That thing rattled something terrible. When I let off, it wasn't sounding too good. I turned around and drove straight home. It was 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. We was downtown. Mm-hmm. Got home. Sure enough, next day, I pulled a motor out of it. It had 7 broken pistons in it. There was one still good, but what we didn't know is you're supposed to increase the plug gap, the ring gap. What happens on a boosted application, the piston ring grows so much, the ends will butt together, and when it does,
perfect seal,
then it breaks the piston because there's no other place for the seal to go.
Right. So
you have to increase. Generally, we wanted 4 thousandths of ring gap per inch of bore. Mm-hmm. Well, in a boosted application, you want a bunch more. So that puts you in a 4-inch bore. That's 16 thousandths. You need 30 thousandths ish. I don't know what the real number would be. You want a bunch more because those rings do grow. So it wasn't the pistons that was breaking. We were breaking the rings. So anyway, that's something.
Sounds pretty good.
Well, you learn.
Hey, now we were talking about some racing. We got some racing coming up here soon. A lot of schedules got released.
Yeah, we did. Next weekend in South Georgia Motorsports Park. That is called Lights Out 15.
Mm-hmm. Next weekend at Bayleton. They're having the Poop Box Nationals.
Yep, fast street car stuff, and you must drive them in. There's a lot of rules, but those guys do an outstanding job. Let's see. Now next weekend also is the Southern States Racing Industry Show. That's be going on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, in the North Alabama Fairgrounds. They've got swap meets, and Mark Dowdy was supposed to give us a call this morning or this afternoon. I guess he's forgotten us again. I think last week he texted us about 10 minutes before the show was over. So maybe he'll
catch this show. Jake's has a test and tune going on Saturday, March the 2nd.
I thought you said the 22nd.
So the
22nd is when they open up. I wrote that down.
No, that's why I checked it right now. The 2nd they have a test and tune.
Okay.
And then Asphalt Heroes is the 23rd at Jake's.
Okay. So Montgomery Motorsports Park. Now it's Montgomery Dragway. I believe they changed the name again, but they had dug up the starting line. They had some water issues on starting line. It would not drain. I think Nicky LaVecchia's company went down and cut the concrete and did everything. And I saw a picture where it come a big rain. There was absolutely no water on the starting line. So they've got the problem fixed. Now they'll pour the concrete back.
Good.
And I think maybe 100 feet. It's pretty good amount of.
Let me check to see when they plan on opening. I know I-22 plans on opening March 9th.
Okay. Hey, that's a special day in history.
The Eyes of March? No, that's
my birthday.
14th.
Duh.
The
Eyes of March is the 14th. Yeah.
Yeah.
My birthday. I mean, it's a day that will live in infamy.
Psh, what do you be? 66?
Yes. It's hard to believe I got this good looking in only 66 years.
Only took you 66 years.
Well, look, I'm the only one who can say that. Nobody else will say that for me.
You got somebody got toot your own horn.
That's right. Let's see. We're looking on here, making sure the mountain. Hey,
March 9th, Kyle Kelly plans to be
where
there at Montgomery.
Really?
I know they posted they're looking for somebody local to race him, who they believe that can beat him.
I'm thinking, not me. But I put on a good show.
I know lots of guys who could.
Well,
but I don't, those guys are pretty busy too.
Well, Hank Stubbs. Hank Stubbs can take yours. Kai's car will run in the high threes, so it'll take a pretty good piece to run with him.
Absolutely. Hey, it's a very solid car he's got there.
Well, he does this for a living. He's supposed to be good at it.
Yeah.
We could look good.
That's right.
What do you think?
We could be cannon fodder.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, but I look good.
We can make him look good.
We could. Hey, I want the back tire and the hit. We're gonna turn on 7 kits and a booster shot. We're gonna run it up. We have the Moon Tune. We run it. The Moon Tune is everything you got. Got the big pills in it. Oh yeah, that's the biggest one. Matter of fact, I took the pills out and threw them away. We don't need no pills. We don't need no stinking pills. No, that'll tear your motor up.
Yeah.
He's got. I think
you just detonate you'd send the pistons through the concrete.
There. Speaking of that, there was a picture on Facebook. It was things have gone bad. It was the bottom side of an engine had blown all the main webs out. The crankshaft laid in the side. It pulled the crankshaft out and all the pistons. The whole bottom of the block was missing. You've had a bad day.
You've had an extra bad day.
So there was.
What if the rods are still good?
I wouldn't. I'm thinking making a coffee table. I'm thinking that's about all you could.
You could save them.
No, you can tear some apart. Anyway, but that was kind of funny on the internet that somebody posted that. Years ago there was a fuel altered. Wild Willie Borsch is one of the guys who did that. They took a picture when he took off. The crankshaft was about 4 inches below the engine. It had blown the crankshaft out, and you see his eyes get real big, and that's how good the picture was. But and I don't know if it was Wild Willie, but it's one of those fuel altered cars. It was looked like a sprint car with a big wing on it, with a blown Hemi, but he blew the crankshaft physically out of the car. Oops.
That's gonna ruin the afternoon.
That's gonna leave a mark on something.
At least some guys ruin the afternoons, and all the guys carry spare motors.
Well, in that you better have, because they leave going on a race. They might be 3 months getting home. That would be difficult. And the no prep kings and all that kind of stuff. They'll be in Louisiana, and then they're in Texas or in Indiana. You can't run home, because that thing, what they're driving is not an economy vehicle. It's to go to the next place will be $700 or $800. If you go home and then go, it'd be $1,500. So you just got to stay out.
Yeah, you just got to go. It's a different class of racing.
It is, but those guys are making some pretty good money. I would hope so.
Yeah.
On a bad note, we buried an old friend last week, John Leonard. John was a close friend. Matter of fact, he's been on the air with us. He was on one of our first shows.
Okay.
You remember the morning we were on the way in and had a blowout on the Mercedes?
Yes.
John was here and he helped us change the flat when we got back after the show.
Sure, yeah. No,
So
I remember that.
John was an old friend, and he loved racing. And they had one interesting thing. You know, the spray that's put on top of the casket. John did not have a spray. They encouraged everybody to bring racing stickers. So the top of his casket was full of racing stickers. I thought, how appropriate.
That's good.
Anyway, we'll miss John. He was a fun guy to be around. Speaking of fun, I told you I had your next car already picked out.
And I passed on it already.
Landon, this will take ugly to a whole new level.
I like a different kind of ugly.
This is a '74 AMC Hornet 4-door, but it's yellow. It was yellow.
I don't have a special hankering for yellow. It just works out that way.
This car's a special kind of ugly.
I'm all right. I don't have a hankering for yellow or any of those sorts.
Oh, so you're fixed up on Yates. I hear music in the background. We're going to go out and take us a break. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Welcome back to Drag Race Central. Let's go out to a caller. Hello.
Good morning. Good evening.
Hey, bud. Mr.
How y'all
Will from
doing?
up in North Alabama.
Yes, sir. I like that song there, beginning of it. That's the one that sounds like the car sitting there hitting the lick at when he's doing that drum roll.
Yep. Have you heard the?
I like it.
Have you heard the
I thought
kid?
I thought that's what it was first time I heard it. Go ahead.
Hey, have you heard the kid playing the violin? He said, "I wanted a dirt bike. My daddy bought me a violin."
I don't think I've heard that one.
Oh, it's great. He gets to making two-stroke motorcycle noises out of the violin, and Russell's good too. And wing, ding, 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 ding. Look on YouTube, you'll find it.
I tried to. I had a few two-stroke bikes myself. Yeah, that's where they sounded too, like a mad little wasp or hornet, giant wasp or hornet.
That's right. What's going on up in your world?
Well, first I was going to say, man, I hate to hear about your friend passing there, Mr.
Yeah.
Leonard. I hate.
John,
I probably heard him on the radio a few times.
John was a great guy. He really had some real health issues, and it just got him. He was tired.
Well, I hate to hear that.
Yeah, but great guy. We just, it was fun being around him.
Well, good. People like that, it means a lot when you got friends like that.
Oh yeah,
It means a lot.
he came over to the house. I kept after him. He helped. This guy named Gary Wells, who's been pro mod racing around here for 100 years. He started racing back when Moby Dick was just a minnow. He'd been doing it a long time. But anyway, John traveled with him and packed chute. So I got John to come over and show me how to pack the chute on the Corvette.
Oh, that's good.
So
that's good. Might have saved your life.
Look, I need them things to come out. The brakes at speed, the brakes are just not designed to stop them at speed.
Right.
But you let the laundry out, it'll stop it.
It'll stop you, won't it?
I hope so.
No, I was going. That's great. No, I'd like to see somebody paint one of them one of these days. But no, we had a great time at the World of Wheels 2 weeks ago. I didn't get the call last week.
Yes, we did. That was a lot of fun.
And it was good to see y'all. Beautiful cars, big crowd. It was fun to be down there. I'm glad I got to come.
Yeah, I'm glad you came.
Check it
Because
out.
from our listeners, we was able to have you in, and we had a big crowd around while we was doing the show.
Good. When are y'all going to try to run? I think I might have mentioned it to you or Landon down there the other day, or one of your friends I was talking to. When is y'all first race y'all going to try to run?
We hadn't got to that part yet.
Yeah, we don't have a first race planned yet. We're trying to get in a series race. Well,
it's a match race.
Match racing.
Yeah.
We'll make it down to I-22 this year.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's going to be it's going to be a lot of fun if we have fun doing this, and maybe we can gross more money than we did last year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Yeah, some of my ventures hadn't went too well either.
Well, the year before last,
this year's gonna be good.
Year before last, I think we went in the hole about 80 or 90,000.
Oh no!
Now last year
we didn't spend no money. We didn't make no money. We did pretty good.
We I think we grossed $200.
That was 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, we didn't even gross any money this last year. No, I sold a set of heads that helped, but
There you go. If you can break even and have fun, that's a good thing.
Break even? Holy smart! I don't know if this is called breaking even.
We're gonna have to work a lot to break even.
Well, maybe like on one, maybe race to race. You know, you got to
Okay.
get it race to race. Yeah,
Well,
not
maybe
the whole season.
I would love to do this and it just not cost anything. You know, racing does not pay.
No.
Only
Making money because you race pays very good.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
T-shirt sales and all the memorabilia, that's where the real money is.
And sponsors.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have sponsors for our race team.
How about an advertising, let's see what they call them, advertising partner? Now,
Yeah.
if you're a sponsor, you know, there's some legal liabilities that go along with being a sponsor. But an advertising partner, there is no liability.
Right.
That's kind of interesting.
Right.
You know, it's lawyer words. Same thing. You give me some cash and
Right.
we'll talk good about you.
Right. Well, I've talked to a few people up this way, see what we can do. If I'm able to, I may try to do a little bit with y'all this year. It'd have to be something small, of course, but I might try to do a little advertising here in a few months.
Well, that'd be great.
Oh yes.
Because you know we one of the things we have two advertisers that had to, and this sounds funny, they had to quit advertising. They're months behind now. So I can't. I don't know what I'll
They're
do.
too busy to advertise now.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
that's actually kind of a neat deal.
It
Well-
brings me pride and sadness at the same time.
You know, you work yourself completely out of a job.
Exactly. Well, you know, when I say it's not, you know, and they're about to wind down, when you see the car dealerships, the truck dealerships, tractors, equipment, different things that you really didn't see advertising, you know, a couple of years ago.
Right.
You know, they've got some inventory now, which you know from being in the car dealership
yeah.
world for years. They need to sell those things before the new models come out.
Yep.
And when they're advertising $10,000 to $15,000 discounts on trucks and vehicles, you know something's going on. They got plenty of vehicles and they're too high.
I
They
agree.
got to get rid of 'em.
Now, what we're looking for, and I look around, we need a golf cart or a ATV type dealership, tractors, because you know not only do we race car, you know we have land that we have to deal with tractors and equipment, stuff like that.
Yes.
Big rental companies, and of
Concrete
course,
people,
yep,
shop people,
yep. Landon's wanting
I'm
to put
going
a
to try to
garage in
rent a
his
few
house.
things.
lighting
I'm
people,
going to try to rent a
plumbers.
few pieces of equipment this year myself, do a little work if I can.
Well, you know,
But yeah, you might a person may get some deals this year if they
Well,
keep
how about-
out there, because I'm afraid there's going to be some deals and prices are going to come down.
Well, how about a car dealership? Well,
Yes.
you know, say you go to a big race and there's 300 or 400 race cars there. Well, they don't sell race car parts here, but every one of them's got a tow vehicle.
Every
Right.
one of those guys got normal cars.
Yeah, they got a tow vehicle and they got a truck at home because you know these are not broke
Right.
people doing this. That helps a bunch.
Exactly.
You know, guys got 15 or 20 trucks. Hey, you got to replace them things pretty quick. Every now and
Sure,
then
yeah.
they out riding around. So
Oh,
that's
fleet
kind of stuff
truck
we're
would be-
looking for.
Exactly. All right. Well, we'll see what we can do. Y'all have a great day, fellas. I know you're about to wind it out, and it's good to talk to y'all. And it was good to see y'all a couple weeks ago. How
right.
I can help y'all.
I will see you, bud.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen. Bye-bye.
All right, VP Racing Fuel.
Hey, VP got several locations. NVS Auto, DG Motorsports, Gardendale Performance, Off Road Connections, NVS Auto, Coleman Discount Muffler. Some tracks coming soon.
Gonna have some tracks.
Tracks within the next week, starting next week.
Hey, I was just curious. The SEEK week that went on, you know, VP had a freight truck following these people from track to track, and they're selling them VP Racing Fuel. I would be curious as how much they sold, and I wonder if we get with Rick and see if he gets some kind of idea of how much racing fuel they sold. I think there's 320 or 30 cars. There was 350 spots. Only 320 or 30 showed up, whatever the number was. I think it's just less than 330. But anyway, they drove 1,000 miles in 5 days. I would be curious as to how much VP Racing Fuel took missing. That would, and, you know, these are not economy vehicles.
Plenty, that's for sure.
5 or 6 miles a gallon, 7 miles a gallon. You know, maybe.
Economy vehicles, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see if we can come up with that.
Get that number.
Keep that number. That's right. It is 4:56 here on Saturday afternoon. You know, this time of year
Hard.
because it's hard. There's actually no racing going on.
Now, it's
coming up.
Start next week. We gonna have some racing.
You know, we've talked about in December. We've got us. We won't have to do anything till the middle of February. You do realize it's the middle of February. If you hadn't got your car ready, it is time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the 55 is ready. I just got to crank it up and run through. I think setting time is the only thing I do on it. And the Corvette, I bought a new oil pump belt. It's a dry sump, and I looked at the belt, and it's old. I said, when I got one, a belt was $20. It's a bargain for $20 not to ruin a motor.
Not to cook the motor. Yeah.
So I put a new belt on it, and then put the old one in the trailer. So that way, if we get there, we'll have an extra. That's something that's you can hit a rock fly up there and knock that thing off. Not hurt the motor, but you don't have a belt. You can't find it. So we did. And fortunately, the way these things set up, you can just put a belt on. You don't have to take nothing loose. It just slides right on.
Right.
That's actually kind of neat. That'll be coming up. I can't believe that you don't like the AMC Hornet 4-door.
It's not for me. I'm more of a.
It's so bad. Landon, we could put the motor in the trunk, drive it backward, and you couldn't tell the difference. It's the same ugly in the front and the back. It's probably one of the most aerodynamic cars around. And it was bright yellow. It was county car yellow.
No.
I may buy it anyway.
Okay.
That's
your money. You do what you want.
I'm going to take it to your house. We can park it. Look, that could be yard art in front of your house.
So that's what I need. I need the green car, my car, and an AMC Hornet. That's what I need. No. I'm thinking more like 911 yard art.
GT3.
Somebody had bought him a new one. I saw a 2023 model. Is a GT3 RS 911 model.
Sweet.
And I parked right beside it. I'm going into Lowe's to buy some wire, and I said, "That right there, Papa Shoe's dream car." I was talking to the boy.
Bingo. Hey, New Orleans, riding in one of them little taxi deals. Why I said that's my next car right there. Hottie, kind of turned the nose up.
So instead you're thinking AMC Hornet. I see.
It was either Porsche Carrera Turbo or AMC Hornet.
I know which one's gonna happen.
We appreciate everybody listening, and thanks for everything. Just remember, the older I get, the faster I'm going to be. See y'all next week on Drag Race Central.